This is the front half of the, well, I say half, the front part of the two casting deck sections. And down on the very bottom in that little shadowed area, you can see where I've put 1x2 in for coupling the two pieces together. And I've already punched out the hole for the seats. And this is a hole up here. You can get a shot. I'm getting a shade here for the front deck hatch. And right now I've just put the back piece in. You can kind of see it in there, I think. And got it clamped for glue. I'm getting ready to screw it in now. And I'm checking all of my measurements as I go along. Even though I've got it mapped out and planned and designed and on paper really good, I check it as I go in to putting it all together and cutting it out. One thing you don't want is to actually have to tear part of it out. That is just a time killer. Mid-floor deck and the two open sections in front of this seat and behind this seat. I'm getting ready to measure for the plywood pieces that go down from the upper decks to the floor. And actually those, let's see if I can get them over here. Those braces on the side of the boat, one there and one there, the plywood with the carpet on it is designed to fit very snugly against that so that it will hold the decks kind of in. Now the front deck, of course, I think previously I showed the bracing, aluminum bracing underneath. The front deck is tied to that bracing, not physically tied, but is fitted in with 2-inch, 1x2 inch braces on the bottom of the deck, on the bottoms of the deck, so that they'll fit snugly in there. The trolling motor deck will have an aluminum edging. It goes around the outside and will hold that front deck in, hopefully. And I will. And it will also have a plywood cover that goes down in front of it that will meet the front of the casting deck. So, and the doors are already made, they're just not in here right now. I'm almost ready to urethane this stuff, and once it's all finished, it'll all be removable for off season so that I can store it out of the weather. And I think it's my belief that one of the biggest problems with having to do decks over and over again is the fact that they get wet during the winter time, and that constant wet thaw, freezing thaw, is what breaks through the surfaces of almost any waterproofing that you put on, maybe except for fiberglass epoxy and that kind of thing. But I didn't want to have to go to that expense So the idea behind this was to be able to take them out and store them covered up during off season so that they won't get to where they rot out. Now, as far as cleaning the carpet, what I'll do with that is vacuum the carpet. I will not wash the boat out with the decks in it. Once the carpet is dried out enough, then if from fishing or whatever, then I'll just come along and vacuum it out real good, and it should keep the carpets pretty well. Okay, it's afternoon now. I finally got all the little covers for the seats done, and up here on the trolling motor deck, a little piece that hides underneath the trolling motor deck, I have a little cutout so I can put landing rope and stuff in that, like that, in it. Little odds and ends. That hatch just down below that would be for anchor and various little utility odds and ends. And that's the cover for the rear of the front seat bench. And actually, that is the live well there. So once the lid's on that, you would just have taken the original live well lid off, set it aside, and once it's all said and done, the hatch lid will serve as the live well lid, and I will put some extra protection around it for water and all, so that it won't damage the wood. And let's see. Okay, let's get around here and take a look at this one. This is the one that goes on the front. This is the cover for the front of the rear seat. And they're just kind of set in there right now. I've got to cut some bracing. I've got 4 pieces of bracing to cut, and all the wood cutting is done. And I would have done something with the sides over there, but I think I'm going to leave it. I think it's most important to have something down on the floor. Trying to walk over those little hull ribs is kind of tough. And that's pretty much it.